Hello, this is Shep here at the Sun Valley Auto Club, and I'm going to show you a 1991 Porsche 911. This is as good a place as any to start out with the story of this car. Yes, I have one particular car to show you, but requires a little bit of a backstory. So we'll start with here. So here's a sea of 964s. We are the major supplier of the donor cars, or the starting cars, for Singer vehicle designs. So if you see a Singer on the road, we haven't sold every single donor car, but good chances it has started here in Idaho. So we bring them in all over the place and all over the world. We measure and inspect the frames and go through a 7-page inspection to pre-qualify them, and then we guarantee they'll pass the in-house inspection to Singer's clients. So the clients are buying them, and then Singer does the phenomenal build. So, which brings us to this one, 1991. It's shown 166,000 kilometers. We bring in ROWs, or rest of worlds, basically non-US designated Porsches, for their lightweight program, the DLS, the Singer DLS. So that's a $1.8 million car. They like the ROWs. There's less federalization, so they can make them even more and more lightweight. So this is a US Spec car that has spent its life over in Japan. So we imported a US car right back in the United States. But out of all the cars, so the ROWs we get from, usually for the classics, those will just come stateside. And I gotta tell you, Americans are tough on cars. So we're usually chasing after Tiptronics, cars that are just, you know, kind of need a full restoration. They've been pretty rough inside, outside, and then we take the risk, bring them in, measure, inspect them, and if we do it right, then everyone's happy. But we've imported them so buy most of them here in America, pretty rough, and we're going after the rough ones. Brought them in from Europe. They're usually a better quality. But the Japanese cars are always just in tip-top shape. So this one, our first thing that we should have caught before we even bought it was there are no side markers. That's your first visual clue. US cars do not have them. But and also US cars have bumperettes, but with those airflows, that sign was gone. All cars start out with a ZZZ VIN underneath the hood on the flange, and then US Spec cars are given 2 more VIN numbers, which this one has both of those. So without a doubt, I know it's not going to focus on that, but that VIN is there, and this side VIN is also present. The rear seats are slightly different. The other thing, in 1991, US cars had airbags. Oh, I didn't bring my flashlight in there to just show that off. But where ROWs did not have airbags, this one does have the passenger airbag. So without a doubt, this was a US car that was in Japan. Interestingly enough, at least to me, even though Japan would be a right-hand drive country, it's a bit of a status symbol. Those are the Johnny Recaro Japan Recaro seats. A lot of the Japanese do, just for a status symbol, still like their Porsches as they were built for Europe and the United States with left-hand drive. So it's always been a left-hand drive. How long it's been over in Japan, really can't track that. but all the service manuals are in Japanese. So kind of fun stuff there. I think it maybe even started out. I don't know that I've looked at this before or forgot to look at it, but there's the VIN. Looks like it was sold originally in 1991. I'll have to run the translator on that, and that's all in Japanese. So maybe it was just a US car that they imported new into Japan versus a European model. There's just the service. I was surprised to see that many Porsche dealers in Japan, and then a few service records that came with the car in Japanese. So there is some questions on this car, not about its stoutness. We've measured it. It would easily pass to become a Singer. All the wheel lips have their factory zinc drops. That's a little telltale sign. If it's rough under there, that's the zinc when the body gets dipped in at the factory. Those are all rough. When these get tapped or tagged, body shops just end up in the repair smoothing that out. And then obviously we've measured this one and it is just absolutely super straight. So the questions would be, so the odometer says 166, and that is in kilometers, which translates to about 104. And but obviously that was changed at some point. I'd say from the beginning when it's new, but we just don't have that information. The other last big question that I've got on this is, we were told that it was a complete rebuild and then actually changed to a 3.8 bored out from the 3.6 to the 3.8, which that race car was done, and that white one was also a 3.8. This certainly drives and feels like it. Unfortunately though, once we realized the error, our broker certainly refunded us dollars, and we were trying to get some from the seller as well, but they went really quiet. So they just didn't want to deal with our mess up, and they were just like, hey, basically it's sold, and they went silent. So we did not get those service records on that 3.8 rebuild. So a couple questions there, but we've gone through this, our Porsche mechanic Wolfgang Kuhn, and we've driven it, and it is so quick. The transmission, it is a Tiptronic. Looks like a manual, it is a tip. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. Kind of beating around the bush on this one. There's just a lot to cover. Not really beating around the bush. But tips have been going crazy on Bring a Trailer. I'm glad to see them getting the recognition that they deserve. I love the Tiptronics. I'm not the best driver. If you just watch that video, I blew the shift into second. A lot of bigger camera, just a lot going on. I can drive a manual, but I tell you, something about you get into a true performance car, and I drive around in a Toyota 4Runner most of the time. It's fun just to put it into gear and then just use the steering wheel to feel the suspension go into the turns. Certainly if you're in city traffic, you'd appreciate that as well. But it is a Tiptronic. Obviously has the RS style whale tail on there. Mentioned the cup ones. Of course, aftermarket seats, strut brace. This thing drives like the rocket ship it looks like. We'll go ahead and start it up so you can listen to the engine. And if you want to go back to a red cover, those are available. Spare tires in there. I don't see the toolkit and pump, but I know those were available as well. I'll take photos of those if those aren't already done, but we'll sell this as a well sorted with all the goodies that's supposed to come with. Another big brace for you up there. It has had a repaint. I've already taken so much time that I won't go through do a paint meter video. If somebody wants one, I can do that. Definitely repaint levels. That paint is shiny enough. That was my first indication anyhow, but great readings, you know, just repaint levels, 7s and 9s all the way across. Again, those factory zinc drips on the wheel lips tell this story. This will be sold on a clean US title. We imported it through the front door. So I've got all the documentation from the EPA, Homeland Security, etc. So the Idaho title is en route, processed, or processing, I should say. All your gauges are really clear. Nothing's peeling apart. It's my Japanese girl talking to me. Let's take a quick listen. Just a drama-free car. All the lights, turn signals, wipers, etc. work. AC blows really cold. .964s can eat batteries. This one, the weeks it's been with us, getting no draw out of that aftermarket stereo, because you just fire it up and it just fires up. Turn the key, it fires up every time. We'll have a little fun on the way back, but we'll just continue warming it up. Seats, not only are they just in phenomenal condition, really comfortable. Factory seat belts. That little squeak is because I have the seat all the way against that strut bar. If you're shorter than 6 foot, that'll go away. If not, you can always take the strut bar out of there. So no issues with that transmission. There's a neutral. So if you want this gorgeous 964 in your garage, all you have to do is give me a shout. I'm Shep here at the Sun Valley Auto Club, 208-721-1973. We ship worldwide. There's an airport 2 blocks away with a private side as well as commercial flights. Yeah, let's keep going all the way back. So yeah, this one is going to stay inside, unlike the other ones out there, which, let alone the paint, Singer doesn't even use the bodies. They all go carbon fiber. But this one is a special car, so we'll keep it on the retail side, and so therefore it'll be kept in the same condition as in this video and photographed. So Shep, 208-721-1973. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.